are here at Gossip Talk Shows, Find Your Own Voice, Lead from Within. With me today, Carol Ann Cooper. How are you, Carol Ann?
I'm good today, thank you. Yes. Very
Awesome.
chirpy today.
Awesome. I'm excited about the topic, achieving your goals, even when you feel like giving up. Um, we are going to cover the importance of perseverance in achieving your goals and understanding the nature of goals and obstacles and the psychology of giving up behind it and why we give up on our goals and setting realistic, achievable goals and creating plan. We might not be able to cover all those things, but those are the things that actually we're going to look at some of them. We're going to look at the power of accountability and finding support system. I know Carol Ann is somebody that is big in finding supporting system and staying motivated, and also the strategies of overcoming procrastination. And over to you, Carol Ann. I know you chose this topic. Would you like to explain to our audience why you chose this topic, or was there anything exciting in your life that was stopping you?
Oh gosh, yes. It was it's sort of, yes, it's
Oh, what's going on? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? I just got a tickle in my throat. Something's just holding me up for a moment. And you said achieving goals even when you feel like giving up. It's more, for me, it was about how to achieve your goals and dreams when you actually feel like not doing anything. So it's not a case of giving up. And I think it's this subtle shift of distinguishing between the two, giving up and just not feeling like doing anything, and obviously if you're not careful, that is the slippery slope to then giving up. So it's where I was yesterday. I was in that zone, and I think a lot of it's because I was tired as well, and I had achieved a lot last weekend. And sometimes when you're so excited, you achieve something, and then it's like, you need some time to just integrate that. But I'd got to a point yesterday and the day before where I had no energy, and I just thought, I just didn't want to do anything. And especially yesterday, I had things I had set myself to do. Just didn't want to do it. So I thought, how about let's look at this? It might be a great topic to explore, because very often people might get to that space of, I just really don't want to do it. So do you just go with that? Do you fight it? Why do we have that sometimes? And as I say, that can be the slippery slope to giving up. So again, it's exploring, how can you be with that experience and then move forward and lift yourself up again? Because as you can see today, I'm here and I'm, let's get going. So yeah, completely different space today.
I love it, Carol Ann, when you say yesterday you felt different and today you feel different, feeling like giving up, or maybe just want to do it, or not really, like I'm not gonna do it. I think sometimes we do have to listen. We have to listen to our body. There are times where we work and wanting to achieve our goals. We have to understand the nature of achieving goals and also the obstacles that come with it. The obstacles that your body might say, okay, this is where you want me to take me, but I don't feel like it at the moment. And it will then up to you how you respond at that moment, whether you give up or you take a rest. and then it continues. Some people, they give up. They're like, I don't think this is for me. Instead of creating a plan and action, and also having a system that can help you to actually stay motivated, and also finding people, to someone that can hold you accountable. Accountability partner is very, very important. But for me, I intend to, when my body says, I don't want to do it today, I intend, when I stop fighting the fight that I haven't got a clue what is about, and when I stop pushing myself and just take a rest, I find that's when I get creative. It means my body wants to regroup. My mind wants to actually rewrite something. But if I keep fighting it, I end up carrying on and end up getting tired. But if I say, okay, this is what you want to do, body, I'm going to give you a rest. And then I end up getting creative. I'll be sitting down, and just things that I wouldn't think about, or things that I wouldn't create, they will start manifesting.
Yeah. And like what you're saying is that it stopped fighting it. And there was a program I was watching last week. It was a film, and it was about a surfer, and he was teaching someone else to surf. And the important message that he kept saying to her was, you have to go with the current. You have to go with the flow. You have to look where you're going and stop looking backwards. He said, you've got to ride the current. If you fight the current, that's when you get in trouble. So it is, as you were saying, I'm saying, give up the fight. There's a surrender. And it is actually in surrendering that something shifts, and you find yourself then actually flowing in a most amazing way. Things happen. You find yourself even taking action that you thought you weren't even going to do. So there's that surrender. And yesterday, that's all I did. I just surrendered. I thought, you know what? I'm going to stop fighting this. I really don't feel like doing anything. I did the few things that I needed to do, and left the other things that were there that I thought I needed to do. Because sometimes you just have to go, right, let's just prioritize it. There's one or two things that really have to be done. Get them done. Leave the rest. And just let yourself be. And that's all I did. And okay, it's another day gone. And it's recognizing that inner critic in your head that's making you wrong. It's going, oh yes, but that's another day gone. And oh, before you know it, there's another week gone. And then it's another month, and then it's another year. Well, time will go however, it'll just go. And I know time just seems to be speeding up. And it's like we're almost at the end of February, and I can't believe, what? Where's January and February gone? Each week, each day, it just slides by. And I have to trust that. And it's not so much I have to trust, but I'm trusting more and more, because that's what I realize that is there to be done. Everything actually happens much more quickly in that surrendering. And then all of a sudden you'll turn around and it's like, oh my goodness, it's done. So like last weekend, I finally, after months of knowing I needed a new laptop, struggling to find one, get money together to get one, and then eventually it happened. I just let go and thought, oh, okay, put up a prayer. And then I got the finances, and I was able to get the laptop that I wanted. Well, actually, it was an even newer model. So the one I was originally going for, once I let it go, and a later model of the same, a later version of that model sort of came up, and that's the one that all of a sudden I've got. And then last weekend, I was able to go up, spend the weekend with somebody who is an absolute amazing tech person. and she helped me set it up. I had a lovely whale of a time, but I had that support to do what I was going, oh, I don't think I can do this. You don't need to do everything. There's always someone that can support you. So spending the weekend with her was amazing. And then she helped me to set up and do some more to my website. And we got a huge amount done. And it's like, all of a sudden, I'm so many steps further forward than, than I was last week. So it's like, oh my goodness. So you just have to trust that everything is in divine order. And as you said, Nomsa, stop fighting it. Stop fighting that inner critic, that inner fight that's going on, but also fighting what seems to be happening out there as well. And just surrender. And then it's just putting up that prayer. What is it you want me to do, Lord? What is here to be done? What is it I'm meant to learn? And be willing and open to receive the answer. Because then all of a sudden things will come to you. And it may be something you've seen before. And you've gone, oh no. But then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, that's what I need. Boom. And you can just feel that, wow, yes, this is it. I'm excited. So certainly, don't fight the current, go with it, but keep looking forwards. See where it is you want to go. This is where your vision comes in. Look forward, don't keep looking back, because that's when you fall off. You look back to see what's happening behind with the wave, that's when you fall off the surfboard.
My forward is hard.
And then you tumble around in the waves,
Yes.
And you just have to climb back on again and go again and wait for the next wave to come. And then it's better. You're always going to fall off. It's like it happens when you first do something. And for some people, this journey of achieving goals and pushing themselves forward is quite a new one in terms of doing the inner work. And so it may seem that by doing the inner work, all of a sudden something goes completely wrong. It's like, oh my goodness, this isn't what I wanted. Well, actually, this is where you need to then ride the wave, because what you get given isn't always how you think it's going to turn out. So it can get a bit tumultuous, you feel like you've fallen off, but you just get back on again and wait for that next wave and just keep looking forwards. So what are you looking forward to, Nomsa, that you've been looking backwards and falling off and going, oh, what's happening? What's that thing that you're pushing forwards to?
Yeah, I think it is very, very important to have, in order for us to get to where we need to be, is very important to have a mindset that is focused on growth. And also, like what you're saying, when you don't feel like it, like you always say, don't make it wrong. Just take a moment and learn and know that you're progressing to another level of life. And also, if you are struggling to achieve your goals and faced with obstacles or setbacks, know that it is part of life. That is part of it. In order to get to where you need to go, as part of those, that is the package of everything. It comes with pain. It comes with sometimes with setbacks, and it doesn't mean that you're not gonna. It means you're on the right track. When you have setbacks, that's when you're gonna need somebody to actually motivate you. Gonna need a professional to talk to, or sometimes if you are somebody who's disciplined, you can just get up and keep going and not giving up. I think when you are in a a place where you feel like you want to give up, you don't want to do anything, people, they get into that stage, they're like, okay, I'm not going to do it. But as for anyone who wants like to activate resilience or to achieve your goals, you have to live a fulfilling life. Living a fulfilling life, it means that there's gonna be bumpy roads along the way. And the beauty about life is knowing to play the game. And when you play the game, when you don't get whatever the results that moment, it means you keep going. You have to understand the importance of perseverance in achieving goals. And it's not about doing. It's about doing when your body says, actually, today, actually don't feel too good. You can relax, mostly in a quiet place. Let everybody else go and do some work and go into that place where quiet place. Maybe it's your body is telling you that you need to do some thinking, some mind rewiring and focusing. Because when you get busy, you need to meditate and just slow down a bit. But if you get into that moment where your body tells you that I don't feel too good, and then you start to fight it, and then that's when mistakes are happened. And when mistakes are happened, you get disappointed. But for me, I take it when I don't feel like it, I'm like, okay, maybe there's a recipe that I need to put together in this journey where I'm going. And I just sit down and just let things happen. Sometimes when I sit down, I just find myself being creative, and I find myself doing things that are getting writing, or sometimes I'll find myself, I'm like, oh, here's the solution, finding the solution. Because sometimes the things that brings us the most is when you're trying to move forward and then you get stuck with the solution, or if we are overwhelmed with too much work and the body says, I don't think I want to continue. And then you like, yes, keep going. Yes, keep going. So I think it's very, very important to actually have the right mindset and the attitude to go with it. Because yes, there are successful people. Being successful, it doesn't mean you have to work 70 hours every single day or 50 hours every single day. It means you work and then you take some time off, work, and then take some time off. Over to you, Carol Ann.
We're playing catch the ball. Yeah.
Yes.
What shape ball is it? Is it a round one? Is it a rugby ball? Is it big, small? I think it's about playing, being playful, because the more you can play, the more you can laugh, the lighter it is. Your whole being shifts. So bring laughter into it, bring humor into it, wherever you feel a bit low. I remember once when my dad was in hospital, he'd had an operation. And when I went to visit him, I remember looking in his eyes, and it's like, where are you, Dad? You know, they were just vacant. It's like, where are you, Dad? And there was just no interaction, no talking. And then we just got talking, and we then got laughing. We were saying things and he was laughing. And then he kept laughing and all this laughter. And all of a sudden it was just like, oh, there you are, Dad. It's like he came back. And I remember seeing the nurse popped round. It was checking on people. She sort of almost took a double take, you know, because he was suddenly with us. So laughter is the best medicine. So yeah, if you can bring humor into it, bring laughter, because it does lighten everything and helps you to come into the moment. So yes, caught the ball, catch the ball. What language? Caught the ball. What's your language? See what you're saying to yourself. Just stop and listen. Because are you getting frantic? And as you were saying, Nom, so are you in this do, frantic, got to get this done? And it is about stopping, because you can get overwhelmed. And when you're overwhelmed and there's too much to do, that is where your creativity gets squashed. Your body and your brain just shut down. And as James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits, said, the fastest way to raise your level of performance, cut your number of commitments in half. So just put your own needs first and center. Just go, no, that's it. Cut everything in half and then go from there. Because if you take on too much, sometimes it's yes, I'll do that. Yes. So recognize, have you suddenly become a yes person that will take on everything because there's a fear driving it that if you say no, somebody will think lesser of you or think that you're not up to the job. Well, actually being able to say no is a strength. And it shows people that you put yourself first. And therefore, and you have that courage to say no, there is that respect that comes back. You do have to put yourself first. So do recognize, have you become what's known as a people pleaser? Or are you somebody that's set a boundary and recognize what that boundary is and go, no, right now, I can't take that on. Right now, I need to give that up because I need to focus on this, So it's been able to just sit and see what your priorities are. And it does go back to, what is your why? All the time, that's your driver. What's your why? Why do you do what you do? It may be that there's something your body's telling you. So it's just going into your body and saying, okay, so what's here? Why do I do what I do? What I do because, and just keep sitting with that statement and finishing it and just keep going deeper until you really get to that driver. What has you really get up every morning and keep going? And that's what will help to keep you going. That's what helps you keep looking forward. You said something about having a growth mindset, which is part of knowing your why, but a growth mindset is a mindset that looks for possibilities in the face of challenges and setbacks. A fixed mindset it cannot see any possibilities. It just sees, oh, this is the only way it's possible. This is what's going to happen. Boom, 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 boom. We're only going to go this way. And isn't even open to listening to anything else that might be possible. So again, notice what your mindset is. Do you immediately go, nope, shut down, don't want to know that? Or do you go, oh, actually, let me have a conversation. Let me have a look. Does it mean you have to commit to it? No. It just means you're open to something that could possibly support you. And it may just be in having that in the conversation that something happens to support you. Or it may be that you decide, oh, yes, that is what I'd like to do. But unless you give yourself that opportunity to be open to it and willing to listen, you've no idea what's available and what could potentially be possible. So do notice when you are shutting down to possibilities. So that growth mindset is really important. And so for those of you that have always heard, well, you've got to push through it, face your fear and do it anyway, you've got to keep doing. My request is that you actually now listen and maybe take on the possibility of what we're saying here today about just stopping surrendering, letting go. And it is actually about who you're being, not what you're doing. Because you could be doing, but you're being so resentful that actually you're not putting your best into what you're doing. And you could be someone who's just being happy, loving. And that puts a whole different energy into whatever you do. And that will have an impact with people that you meet, people that you interact with, your family, your friends. So who are you being? Are you being defeatist? You know, like yesterday when I said, I don't feel like doing anything. Was I being defeatist? Or was I actually listening and honoring my body and my needs in that moment and listening? Because actually what I became aware of was a very deep dread of something. So I just wrote about it. There's this dread. It was really deep in my stomach. Every time I thought about doing one of the activities I was supposed to be doing, it's just like I had this deep dread. So I acknowledged that. I wrote about it. And then things started to shift a bit. So do recognize who you're being around it. Are you being accepting? Or do you think you're being defeatist? Again, look at your words, how you're languaging it, what you're saying. That is really important. So, yeah, and then you can live a fulfilling life. What would be a fulfilling life for you? You know, you need to know, what is it that you want to have happen? Because what would be a fulfilling life for you isn't always the same for somebody else. So are you looking at someone else thinking, oh, they look fulfilled, I ought to do that? Why am I not there? Maybe there's some gratitude to look at for where you are here right now. Because then maybe you may feel more of a sense of fulfillment. You know, look back at what have you already achieved and acknowledge that, because that could help bring in a sense of fulfillment as well. What do you think, Nomsa? I throw the ball back to you.
I actually agree with you, because we intended to compare our lives with other people and not knowing what those people have done to be where they are. And instead of asking their advice so we can grow. And I also agree that you say the language is very, very important, the language that we use. And also looking at what is driving that fear, and also prioritizing things, I think is very, very important. And also you mentioned the big why. Why do we do the things that we do? And I think when you have your big why and you have the right mindset and the right attitude to actually get to where you need to be, you'll be able, and also right character, you'll be able to do things in a way that you can't, there'll be nothing stopping you, even if the day you don't feel like you're giving up. There will be something, that big why, it will drive you to keep going. And that attitude that you have, attitude of success, and the attitude of wanting to achieve whatever goals. People have different dreams that they want to get to. So you need to make sure that you understand the future and the present, the difference between the future and the present. In order for us to receive the future, we got to accept our present life and embrace it. Then the future will be rewarded to us in an amazing miracles way. So in order for us to have these miracles that we say we desire, we got to accept this life that we have. And when you persevere through challenges and setback, when you go through challenges, it's something that happens. It helps you to develop a stronger sense of self and build and have these abilities to handle life. Some people don't know how to handle life through difficulties. That's when difficulties are presented to you, people end up giving up. But you don't have to. You have to commit. You have to be willing to work. You don't necessarily have to work long hours, as long as you're willing to work hard and achieve the goals and have a system in place as well. And it also, when it comes to work, you're not meant to know everything. You're meant to share. So you can get some people to do some other work, or you can get accountability partner as well to push you through, making sure that you reach the deadlines. And it's important for me, I look at the deadlines and I just go for the things. If I feel like I've got my phone, that reminds me. And if I set something, if I need to do something, I'll keep setting it up until I take it off when it's done. So it's like when my phone goes off, my daughter goes, "Mommy, you need to do this." So I'm like, okay. So, okay, let me have a look. I think, is it done? And she'll be like, "Mommy, is it done?" I'm like, yeah, it's done. We can get it up, get it off. So I set the alarm, because if I put it in the diary, I set the alarm and then I write what needs to be done. And if I put it in the diary, sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'll get back to it. But the alarm is actually annoying. When it goes off, I don't want to reset. I don't want to actually switch it off. I have to reset it. Say, okay, I'm not finished this task, so I'm going to reset it for another 30 minutes. And when it goes off that 30 minutes, I'm like, oh, yes, I've got to do this. Or if I have to take a break, I take a break as well. Enjoy my lunch, enjoy my food as well. And then go back to it. Or sometimes if I'm doing some other task, what I do is I put my name, my email address in so many events. Like if I feel like, or it's not every day, or sometimes if someone is doing an event, I just go and listen to them. It motivates me as well. And doing that, like the other that event that you gave me, and then you didn't turn up and I turned up. Do you remember? Yes. And I ended up getting loads of useful information. I was like, I love you, Carol Ad. This is awesome. Yeah, I was like, yeah, you didn't turn up. And then I turned up. And the guy was so amazing. There were so many things that I was like stuck with, and they like giving out the website, where to find the information. So it's all those things, like having a mindset, shift your focus. It's like if you have to focus on the computer, like doing some work, find something that you can do that can take you away from that, and then you go back to it. Some people, they're like, I want to do this. It's got to be done. I do things, but if I feel that I need to take a break, or you said once when we were doing live that you can do anything if you put your mind to it. So now what I do is, if I learn to do something and if it's not working, I don't give up. I get out of it and then I keep going back on. There's something that I was learning to do. It took me like few months. And then one day I just went to the computer and I just doing it. I found myself actually doing it. And I was like, this is amazing. So it's just, it's all about knowing, committing to your goals, and knowing that obstacles and setbacks will always be there and challenges will always be there, whatever you do in life. But find the ingredients that can help you to succeed. And it's all about recipe is all about what you can tolerate. For me, I can tolerate anything. And also you have to be patient. There are some people that want things to get done now. If they're not done now, it means I'm not good enough. That's not the case. Good success requires you to stay focused. It requires you to be patient. It requires you to have a mindset of not giving up. It requires a character. I choose somebody, like I go online, I look at the speakers like Tony Robbins and everybody else, and then I look at their character and I read their life story. And then when I read somebody's life story, so I use their life story, that if somebody had to do this to get to where they need to be, why am I so different that I think I'm going to just do things and then they would happen just the way I want? So all I do is just giving everything to God and just pray about it. And I know that God does miracle through work. So, and then I'll have to work and then I get a miracle. And when you do get a miracle, is rewarding, celebrated. Some people can't even celebrate their breakthroughs. So learn to celebrate your miracles. And also, when you actually, if you are faced with storms, if it becomes a long-term thing, then you have to seek professional help. And when you seek professional help, you have to look at your weaknesses as well. It's very, very important. For me, the most thing that I focus on, I know my strength, but I look at my weaknesses, the things that are the things that actually are holding me back. And then I have to be clear of the things that I can do, the things that I can actually, the habits that I can practice on my own. Then if I need help, then that's when I get somebody in to say, can you please help me with this? I can do this, but it's just taking time. So can you help me to create a system that can help me? And also, there are some people that they pile the work, too much work, creating bigger goals. They put me off. For me, I like to do things step by step. If I create things big, I'll just look at it and I'm like, oh, you know what? Yeah. But if I take it step by step, if I can write goals step by step, like let's say, like now we're in February, next week it will be March. Yeah, I find myself because I put them step by step, I've created a system. I find that within 2 weeks, the goals that I've meant to finish in a month, I'll be finished them because I don't feel the pressure. I just feel like, oh, okay, this is done. Then I go and do this. I go and do some research. I go and do this, or I go and do this. So I think it's very, very important to do that, to have resources of support. And if you have self-doubt is always gonna present itself in your life. And it doesn't mean that you are not enough. It means that you have to work on some things that are bringing that self-doubt to you and be an overcomer. An overcomer, it means you climb the mountain even when you don't feel like it. You will keep climbing. And when you fall, you will keep going back up, because behind that mountain, that's where success is. So that's what I do.
That's what success is.
Yeah. I want to see when something stops me. I want to see what's behind there. Why am I being stopped? And that's why I keep pushing myself. I'll push myself to go and have a look.
Absolutely. And it is about just being curious. Go and have a look. Yeah, what's stopping me? And and work with that. And that is how you can then move forward. And it's just surrendering to the moment, just give yourself a break. But ultimately, your whole focus is on taking the next step. What's the next step? And yes, as you said, breaking it down into small steps. Doesn't seem so huge and overwhelming. You write them down.
Yeah,
And you can
James
tick them
Clear's
off.
book. Have you got his book? James Clear, you were talking about him.
Atomic Habits.
Yeah, have you got his book? It's
I
really
don't.
good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've got his book. It's really good when you really, and also, are you on his newsletter?
No.
I did put the link in the group
Yeah. Okay. I'll
to
have a look.
join the newsletter. Maybe go through your WhatsApp messages. I did put the link there to join his newsletter. He's really good. Like he will send, like he has a period where 30 days where he will just be sending different goals, how to set different goals and how, yeah, it's really good.
Okay. I'll have a look.
So it's like having an accountability partner that you've never met. And also if you email him, he will reply to you.
Yeah, that's good.
Is there with his
Yeah,
audience.
there.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, yes, about having an accountability buddy can be very can be very productive for you and support you. But it is finding somebody that it works both ways. You're holding each other to account. It's not just a one-way street, because that doesn't work. It has to be a two-way street, or you pay somebody, a professional, to support you and hold you to account. And then there is a two-way exchange because you're paying them to hold you to account. So certainly being held to account is a great way of moving you forward and keeping you going. And I've got some accountability buddies, we hold each other to account, or we're there if we get a bit stuck. We just sort of fire out and go, oh, I'm a bit stuck, and just chew it over and then move forward. We'll talk it through. But it is that constant focus. Well, okay, so where are you at? Where is it you want to be? What do you say you were going to do? And it does keep the conversation alive, rather than if you're sat on your own, that's where there is no conversation, because it's all in your head. There's nothing happening. And everything comes to life in conversation. It is through having a conversation with somebody else that things come to life. So, do consider that. And I found that I was one for trying to sort it all out on my own. Then I find I have a conversation with somebody, and it's like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. And then it brings life to it, and you can go off on another tangent, or, you suddenly find, well, yes, I want to keep going. It brings that energy in. So certainly, have an accountability buddy in one form or another. And what you were saying about walk away, take a break, if something has become too difficult. And okay, it does mean that it may take time for you to achieve it, but you will achieve it, as you were saying, Nomsa. All of a sudden, you found yourself, after quite a long time, being able to do what it was that you were struggling with. Well, it realized that your brain actually continues to work on the problem. Just because you've walked away and you're thinking about something else doesn't mean that your brain has stopped thinking about it, because it hasn't. It's working it out for you. So that's why it's important to just walk away, let your brain do what it knows how to do best, because then you will get to a point where you come back and you go, oh yeah, that's it. Got it. Why didn't I see that before? And it's because you had to go through stages of learning and sorting things out. And I used to find this at college, as my main subject at college was maths, and I'd sit up till quite late trying to sort out a problem. And there were times where it's like, I just couldn't see it. I just couldn't work it out. And then I'll go, okay, I need to go to bed. I'd go to bed. I'd wake up the next morning and I got the answer in my head. It's like, I'll go back to the problem. Oh, there it is. And I realized that actually your brain just continues. So I just need to plug my laptop into energy, the battery, because you can get depleted. And if you deplete your energy, just shut down. So you need to give your body and brain time to rest. You need to go to sleep. You need to have that rest because your brain will continue to sort things out for you. And I was amazed every time it happened. I'd wake up and I'd go back and it's like, oh yeah, should I do that sorted. So make sure that you have a good amount of sleep. And really, you should go to bed early, they say. I'm one that tends to go to bed late. And I think, again, I notice when I do go very late, that's when I feel more tired in the day. So attempting to sort of bring my bedtime earlier, I do find that I'm much better the next day. So it's playing around with that. But see, sometimes I'm wide awake at night and I find myself, I can be doing something. I'm alert, I'm awake, and midnight comes and goes, 1 o'clock comes and goes, But it's the next day that you then suffer for it. So it's recognizing how you work best and not making it wrong, but also going, well, is this actually working in the best way for me? So go to bed, have a high quality of sleep. Make sure you have good sleep, because when you're absolutely tired and depleted, it's like my laptop battery was going, I'm low. If it gets to a low where it's completely out of energy, laptop shuts down. Well, we're not much different. If we haven't got the energy and we keep fighting and pushing, our body will say enough. And that's where it takes longer to get back on your feet again. So, if you want to get that spark of genius, you want to get that passion for life again, have a good night's sleep. But it needs to be regular sleep. So do look at your sleep patterns. Look at how you can have good quality sleep. And if you're not getting good quality sleep, then again, go and seek help. Maybe there's something that's niggling away inside you, which is different. It's more an anxiety. Your brain working on like a problem is different. Where you're anxious about something and you're then not able to sleep because you can feel it inside and you're tossing and you're turning. That's completely different. And that's where you need to then seek help and go and get professional support to be able to then rest easy, to then find that peace and be able to go to sleep. Because then you have that good, great quality sleep. You can wake up the next day and say, oh, okay, off you go. So go to bed at a reasonable time. Make sure it's quality sleep that you have. And again, occasionally, if there are times that you do find yourself up late because you're awake and you're inspired, don't fight it. But watch when it becomes a habit that you're then tired the next day and you're not productive the next day, such that over a longer period of time, you are actually less productive. So you do need to sort of gauge it and watch what's happening. And something else you can do to boost your energy, put some music on. Get up and move to the music, but put music on that as you move, because that can lift your energy as well. Notice, are you drawn to putting music on that's a little bit and can pull you down? It's a bit heavy. It's a bit depressing, get yourself some music that has got a beat to it, it's got energy to it, something that makes you smile, that makes you want to join in, that makes you want to dance and move your body, because you can see the difference in physiology from here to here. You shift our physiology, and music can help us with that. I'm sorry. With that. So watch, seek out some of your favorite music, have it on standby, and just press play. Go, oh, I'm a bit, and that's something I could have perhaps done yesterday. I didn't, but I hadn't thought about it. So maybe if I had some pieces on play, on ready, standby, I might try that out next time. Give that a whirl. And it's about having all these tools at your fingertips and just being willing to play around with them, and see which one is going to happen for you that day. And there was something else I was going to. Funny one. It's okay, it'll come back. Things come and they go. They come and they go, don't they, Nomsa? So what's coming for you to say?
Oh yeah, I like when you said get a good night's sleep. I don't think I get enough sleep anyway. I sleep 4 hours or 5 hours.
Okay, is it good sleep?
Yeah, to me it's a good sleep. But when my body tells me that I'm tired, I need to sleep, I sleep, honestly.
Okay.
And playing music, I play music every single day. I think music it keeps me going. It gives me, it helps me to smile every single day. And I love my music, and it does help what you're saying, Carol Ann. It helps a lot. And also, if you have a business, you can, those who live in the UK, I don't know outside the UK, you can register through the council, your local council. And there's a program called Growth Hub Program. It's under European business funding. So what they do is local enterprise partnership with the council. So what they do is they have coaches from all walks of life, and those coaches, they are very, very successful. So what they do, they help local businesses who needs coaching. Like if there's something, the first time is hard work to fill the forms, and also it requires you to be honest, and because when you're filling out the forms, they want to know. It's like when you are hiring a coach, they want to know the things that you are struggling with. So then you get a coach, you get a good coaches, one-on-one for an hour, and every week, depending with how long you want them for. Some of them can give you 10 weeks or 5 weeks if you want to. So then you work with them. If you can't afford any other coaches, me, I have a coach, but I also get these ones as well. It's just it is, you'll be surprised when you have a coach and then you ask somebody else's advice. They'll come up with the different things, like create a system or a system that you already created. They'll be like, oh yeah, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this. Because the coach that you pay, they are on the payroll. So no dosh, like when 1 hour is like £300 per session, or it's expensive if you want to get a good coach. But if you do have a coach and you want to take your life to the next level, your business to the next level, register your email address, your business to the local council, and then it will take you to a hub where you register for businesses, where, like, if you need funding or if you need some help with anything or marketing, they do events for free. So they just send you the dates or they say they'll send you like a profile of business coaches, maybe 10 coaches from different background. Then you choose, and most of them, they are successful coaches. And then you choose there and you work with them. It's very useful. It's a very, very useful information, and not to say, you know what, I feel like giving up because I can't afford anyone. Even at Ngozi Talk Shows, we have coaches as well. Ngozi Talk Shows, you can find a free consultation and just do some work. Actually, I think I might volunteer as well to actually help people. So you can do that. There's lots of possibilities out there that you can help you to get to where you need to go. You can't say, you know what, there are no options for me. You can't say I'm stuck or anything, you know. There's lots of help out there. And for me also, if I see something that makes sense, I put my business email address to anything that makes sense. So I don't miss out on the information. I intend, when I see newsletter, I intend, like James Clear, I read his book, and then at the back it says you can go and register to have a newsletter, and I register it, and then the next thing I go, oh yeah, you can get this for free, and then you can get this for free. It's nice. Set up your goals when you finish reading the book and somebody motivates you every week. It's nice. And relationship, I have coaches that I follow. I have coaches that I go and listen to, making sure that I'm doing the right thing, because just because you are a relationship coach, it doesn't mean you know it all. And also when you do the training, it's not the same like when you practice and when you share ideas with people. So you just have to, the help is out there. There's plenty of help out there. Ngozi Talk Shows, there's lots of coaches at Ngozi Talk Shows. And you on YouTube, there's lots of information. This artificial intelligence as well, some people are reacting to it in a negative way, but on YouTube, people are giving out good information. I'm finding links to help my business. So I just go there and somebody will be giving out information and this. So I just go and grab. I've been doing my SEO and even like a YouTube channel. I've decided I just go and listen to people's videos using artificial intelligence, how to monetize and do your SEO properly and things like that, because we intend to think like when you pay more expensive things and then you get the good results. And I find that there's a website that I was paying loads of money for my YouTube channel, but I couldn't get through to it for some reason. My password is not working. But I see since I've been blocked and I keep emailing them that my password is not working, waiting for them to fix it. Now I'm finding information because that's where I've been getting my topics and fixing things. But now I'm on the other side where I pay less money, but I'm getting things done. So you just have to, the day you don't feel like it is the day you have to sit down on the sofa and do some research. Just play around with your laptop or play around with your tablet and just see what's out there. And TikTok is good for information as well, but as long as you don't stay there too long and get obsessed with it. I find it.
Get sucked into it, do you?
Yeah, my spouse will always find me information. He goes, oh, for your business, I got this. I was just received an email on WhatsApp, a message on WhatsApp for your business, babe. And then I find the right information and then I go and implement.
There you go. Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. And as you say, like you're saying about coaches, because different coaches have different ways of doing things and they have different ideas. And sometimes it can get confusing because one will say you got to do this and someone else will say you got to do that. It's up for you then to decide what works for you, because it may be a bit of both, but actually knowing the different approaches helps you to find the one that suits you. So rather than getting hung up with, oh, I have to do it this way, or I've got to do it that way, just go, well, that works for that person, and that works for that person, and oh, that works for that person. What will work for me? And you could give all of them a whirl, try all of them.
Yeah, you know
and
what I
see
do?
which one
Do you know
fits.
what I do, Carol Ann? Sorry, what I do is
Yeah.
if I have a coach, and when I go to this website for the council, I look at what they do. Then I find a specific coach. It's either for marketing,
Yeah.
or because the business coach, they focus on everything. So if I'm struggling with marketing, or I'm struggling with a specific things where I need somebody to give me one-on-one explanation, that's where I go. And then I put my name down and say, can you connect me with this person? And then once I learn it, then I'm going to go, I implement it on my business straight away. When I'm finding somebody, it means I want to implement something's got to be done. So I don't just find, oh, this one is a business coach and I've already got a business coach. No, I find a business coach that specializes in marketing or in
sales.
Yeah, all different things.
Or different strategies, because
different strategies. Like the one that I have an appointment with her on the 7th, that I asked them to connect with her. She's specialized with in sales, doing Grant Cardone sales training, but her as well, she specializes in sales. So there are some questions that I can't afford a Grant Cardone one-on-one. It's expensive, cost millions. So I decided that I just gonna ask, when you have these questions, like simple things, like when you're dealing with the clients, difficult clients that undecisive, they can't make a decision. So just how do you actually close the deal very quickly without manipulating them?
And it's not about manipulating, is it? And actually, how do you close the deal? It's a case of it's not about you having to close it. You have to, the way you speak and you talk and interact with the person, they close it themselves. That's the ideal situation to get to. They want it, they close it, right? Okay, yeah. That's the best way. But what was interesting, I don't know if you've watched a program called The Apprentice that Lord Sugar does. It's a TV program, but he has so many. He starts off with 18 people who, looking to be his next apprentice, and they have to go through these different activities, and then each week someone gets fired, and it's really interesting to see what they have to do, and then how they behave or how they manage it. But last night it was really quite obvious. The person that got fired was he just had to go, because he really didn't get that what his group were doing, and what he needed to do was to sell the experience. He was just selling, well, you're going to they took them to a prison, but they were giving them the experience of being a prisoner. That was what they were selling, and then they were having some other experiences as well. But this particular one in the prison, it wasn't a case of, well, we're going to show you around this prison, which is what he was telling them. So therefore, they were going, well, that's not worth a lot of money. We wouldn't be paying, so they kept bringing his price down. So he kept bringing the price down, because he didn't get that it was the experience. If he shared what the experience was going to be, then he'd have got a whole different response from people going, oh, yes, I will pay for that. It was intriguing to see. And the other group, they were selling the experience. They were able to sell their tickets, you know, with what they were doing. It was absolutely fascinating. But I heard that and I thought, are we not always told it's the benefits that you sell? It's, you know, so it is that, it's the experience. What is it you're selling? And yeah, I really went, ooh, that perked my ears up. It's like, you know, you sort of, you hear things and all of a sudden you hear it and you go, because you can see it, you know, happening in it. So I could see it happening in that program. It just really made so much sense. So yeah, he had to go because he lost them. You know, he lost their group, the sales.
Okay.
They didn't make much money at all. If hardly any. They got hardly any profit. Whereas the other group, they made a huge profit. You know, much bigger profit. I love watching it for that reason. I do sort of learn quite a bit.
When does it come on?
It's Thursday nights on, I think it's on BBC. Yeah.
Okay.
They've already had 8 episodes. Last night was the 8th episode. So it's the 17th one, 17th series 17. I've watched them for quite a few years now, and you can see the same characters, the sort of people that show up. But it's really interesting. I've got beyond this going, oh, can't stand this, can't stand that person, can't stand that person. I look at what the scene is and how they're interacting, and I'm looking at it in a completely different way.
Okay.
From it. But yeah, have a look, have a watch.
Yeah, I'll have a look. Is it on Amazon, Alan Sugar?
I don't know. But the program it's a BBC One program called The Apprentice.
Okay, I'm asking if any of his program on Amazon as well, because Tony Robbins, he's on Amazon as well.
Okay, have a look. See what you can find.
Okay, I'll have a look. Yeah, I like to.
You'd be intrigued, and yeah, what you see. So it's the experience that you're selling. It's the experience. But of course, yeah. All right. So where we're doing? I think it's time.
Yeah. Do you have any words of encouragement for our audience, and also let them know who you are and where they can find you, please?
Yes, I'm Carol-Ann Cooper. I'm the writing facilitator, and what I do is I support women in becoming more productive with their writing by connecting them with their deeper innate ability to write. And through that process, they get their story written, because you can't publish what isn't written. And all of this has come about through my own journey of unlocking the writer within. And Hayes says, the expert in anything was once a beginner. So, yeah, the expert in anything was once a beginner. So I think that's, just leave you with that quote.
That's beautiful. This aspects of everything was a beginner. Yes. We all have to begin somewhere, somehow. For me, I will just leave you with this. In order to actually get to where you need to go, you need to prioritize your goals and seek support when you need to. Seek feedback, actually, and support. Feedback and support is very, very important, because the people that give you feedback, choose positive people that wish you well. Don't just ask for feedback to anyone. And also review things, go back and review things and break down your goals. And also, even if you feel you don't feel like it, motivate yourself, find things to motivate yourself so you can bring that energy back, mostly music, meditation. I use prayer a lot for me in meditation. If I read music, if I really feel like I don't feel like it, and I find that the things that trigger me not to feel like it is when I'm feeling a little bit of fear or feeling overwhelmed by things. And also know that whatever the journey where you need to be, there's no end of a destination, but there is energy that can help you to climb whatever mountain you are facing, and also be in the right relationship. If you're not in a relationship, that is the hallelujah, that is good for you if you are happy with it. But if you are in a relationship, because the relationships, the people that we are surrounded with, they play a very, very important part in our lives. And if you are in a wrong relationship and you are trying to achieve goals, it's not going to help. You need somebody that can mentor you and you be an architect of your life. And also, we are here at Nkosi Talk Shows Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. And come and join us. And if you are watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. And if you're on Facebook, you can follow us on a Unique Billionaire Mindset and Nkosi Talk Shows group. And like our page, Nkosi Talk Shows. And if you want to connect with any of our coaches, please, one of our coaches, just send me an email through my website, www.hseia.com, or ring the office. I get your message and then connect you with one of the coaches, or you can message them direct through Facebook or through their website. And live with grace, everyone, and God bless. Probably see you today at midnight. I always pop in at midnight for 10 minutes, talk about something else.
Oh, lovely.